Let's take you to Hubei province in China now, of course the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. Over the last few months we've been connecting with Ula, who lives there. She's been telling us about her self-isolation as the virus spread. And a few weeks ago our China media analyst Kerry Allen spoke to her about life in Hubei province, and we got them together again to chat about all of this. Kerry from her home in eastern England, and Ula in Hubei province. Kerry started by asking Ula what life was like for her back in February.
I stayed at home for quarantine for like 62 days, I think. It's like over 2 months. All my family stayed at home for that too long. Yeah, I know it's a little hard in the beginning, but now it's over for the small cities I stayed here.
If you wanted to go to the supermarket, what was life like? What did you have to do?
The area I lived in Wuhan, they still cannot get down to the downstairs, and the elevators were all closed. They only open for 1 hour, so they can get down for food. So I know it's very hard for them. But now it's so much better for the other cities, except Wuhan.
Yeah. It's crazy thinking that when we last spoke, this was only really happening, these kind of lockdowns in Hubei province. And, nowadays we're hearing about more people who can't go to the supermarket without a form. And that was the case for a lot of people in Hubei, wasn't it?
I think it's a good way. I heard that in the beginning, UK, your prime minister said you need to get 60% of people got affected. Then 60% of people will get immune system towards coronavirus. And some of my friends were talking about that it might be very effective. There is still a very big chance for the coronavirus to go back. So we are also have the worries about that.
Yeah. Can you go outside now, or do you still have to stay in your house?
In my city, we have unlocked for over 1 week because we only had 10 people got infected and they were all cured. 0 death. So we almost back to normal life, and we can go to the supermarket, but wearing a mask is necessary.
But can you go to parks, for example?
Yeah, we can. I just climbed a mountain today.
All right, okay. I'm not going to be doing that today.
Yeah. Yeah, and people are all wearing masks when they go out. I think it's good. And, my parents, they already go back to work for over a week. So it's just me and my brother staying at home.
But you've experienced long-term lockdown, like staying in your home. I know a lot of people now, not just here in the UK, but in other countries, are actually struggling with the idea of this. I mean, tell us about some of the things that you did and the way that you coped being stuck in your house.
As I have told you before, I kept myself reading a lot. And last time I told you I read about 24 books within 30 days.
Yeah.
And now it's I read about 32 or 4 books.
Oh, wow.
In total. It's a really good feeling of reading, I think self-quarantine for at least 30 days is very effective. China in the front, we already have the sample for you guys. Even in my cities, we stayed at home for safety. But now it's relatively very safe now. It's everything is normal because we only had 10 people and then they got cured. Even though they recovered, they're still in self-quarantine. Their families will give them food.
Yeah.
But if we stayed in our city, it will be safe.
Yeah.
So there is no chance of getting more affected.
Yeah. I know I've been quite surprised to see that some people here in the UK are still going to big parks and going on holiday to the coast. How do you feel about that? Hearing things like that happening, that people are still going on holiday, it surprises me.
I mean, we have different cultures. Westerners, in my eyes, very free. They're out of control. They don't believe in the government. So individualized. It's not surprising that they won't stay at home for self-quarantine. But USA didn't pay much attention to the coronavirus. although they only have like 60 or 20 cases, but now they have like thousands of people got infected. Their young people are also going out for party, but now it's like people are getting more serious. I feel it's time. Because in the beginning, our Wuhan didn't take very fast steps to stop the spreading. Now we have our, sacrificed so many people and death. We also didn't pay much attention to it. That's why it spread so fast. We have the sample, the bad sample, in the beginning. So the rest of the world should learn from us. I heard some, Western news, they said something bad about China. I feel very sorry. Someone asked China to apologize for the coronavirus. I feel sorry for the world is suffering. Everyone is suffering. We all paid for this, the disease from our motherland. I feel sorry for that, personally. But, every country, many diseases originate from different countries. I think, if you ask a country like China to apologize in front of the world, it might not be that reasonable. Yeah, if only the world can work together, every country can work together, we can all work it out.
Do you think you learned a lot about yourself being in lockdown? Do you think you learned a lot about the person you are?
Yeah, that's a good question. Isaac, my friend, he is Christian. He always talks about the meaning of life. It also makes me thinking about my life and my work. I think, especially in my college life, I didn't spend much time of getting to know more skills or knowledge. I think I wasted a lot of time. But now it's I got more time for myself. When I graduated, I went to work. From Monday to Friday, I need to work every day for at least 8 hours. I don't have much time of my own. But now it's every day is my own. Then I can learn to cook, learn to read. And my goal is after reading a lot, I feel so sorry for myself because I forgot and I didn't write my mood or my feelings and stories down. I was always thinking about how can I leave this world with nothing. Writers, they have their novels, their books. The musicians, they have their music, their songs. Or the painters, they have their paintings. I feel this is a very bad thing. So I'm maybe it's time for me to take my pen, to write something down for myself.
Kerry and Ula. I'm Luke Jones. That was OS.